Because good morning, Nigeria, though it is a public holiday here in Nigeria, but we are at work. Of course, work beckons. Welcome to the conversation this Tuesday morning. I am Abimbola Bilo.
Good morning and thanks for joining us. I am Ajibola Ojeshola.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, everyone. I am Adebimpe Omotayo.
You did not put the dial there.
Because
of what we are
celebrating.
Of course, a lot of people, yesterday when I can't remember what this conversation, I think it was my husband and I said, there's public holiday tomorrow. I said, public holiday for what? I said, Kodake your mass in service. Of course, there's a public holiday today, and what are we celebrating? Of course, we're marking or celebrating the birth of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And of course, it's a public holiday. The roads were actually very free this morning. I'm sure a lot of people will sleep till late and, go about their businesses much later on.
So today's celebration, does it come with any cooking or gifts? Oh, it doesn't.
It doesn't come with anything.
I was hoping that
it comes with sober reflection.
I didn't pay this morning.
It comes
because
with
of what we are celebrating.
comes with sober reflection. Of course, welcome to the show. Let's begin by taking.
And Chelsea won yesterday.
That match was intense.
Oh,
it was really, really intense. And, the first 45 minutes was more or less like a tiki-taka. And I'm like, what's going on? Then Chelsea came in with a lot of fire.
Yeah.
And, I was just saying before the commencement of the program that Sanchez almost gave me a heart attack last night. I don't like his goalkeeping tactics at all. It gets distracted easily. I don't know what he's using his height for. He's a tall man, no, but he's behaving like one shooting goal like that. I don't even understand. But honestly, that match yesterday was fire. And Fulham actually came also with all the fire. But at the end of the day, Chelsea won.
3-2.
Yes, 3-2.
So
and
I think you can rejoice with us.
See how she's looking. Yesterday when we mentioned Manchester United, she was all head bowed. And this morning, it's not you to say, well done, Chelsea.
Well done, Chelsea.
You are looking as if you don't know what we are talking
Even though I
about.
didn't watch, I couldn't watch
Spread the
it
anointing.
because of work. So, but okay.
Well, I'm
done,
expecting
well done.
Chelsea to do well this season because there's
hopefully.
really nothing, they don't have any other competition at hand. They're not going to Europe.
No.
They're not going anywhere. So they should actually
They should
bring
focus.
Yes, they should focus.
They should focus.
And they also had some good buys this season. Rogers is a very good buy, and he also brought that to the competition yesterday. So let's wait and hope that the season will be a better one for Chelsea. Okay, can we move on now?
Yeah, we can.
All right. Let's start by taking the news points this morning. Ajibola, shall we begin with you?
Okay. DSS, NIA probe NFF officials over alleged threat to national security. The Department of State Services, DSS, and the Nigerian Intelligence Agency, NIA, are investigating intelligence reports, alleging that some top officials of the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, are working with foreign interests to undermine Nigeria's national security. A security source disclosed that the two intelligence agencies intercepted what it described as highly disturbing communications between the NFF officials and certain foreign nationals, which could have serious security implications for the country. Asked whether the investigations was connected to the 17 billion naira intervention fund approved for the payment of outstanding salaries and bonuses owed to players and officials of the Nigeria's national teams, the source said the probe went beyond financial matters, stressing that allegations of financial impropriety fall under the purview of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. It is true that President Bola Tinubu in 2024 approved 17 billion naira as a special intervention fund to help NFF clear outstanding payments owed to Nigerian national teams. However, that falls within the purview of the EFCC, not the DSS and NIA, the source said. The mandate of the DSS is on dealing with domestic threats to national security. The NIA deals with external threats. So when you hear that the DSS and NIA are jointly investigating a matter, it has got to be very serious. However, the NFF has recently come under the scrutiny of many football fans who regretted that football teams have suffered neglect over funding, resulting in Super Eagles missing consecutive FIFA World Cups and the historic failure of the Super Falcons to qualify for the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup in Brazil. The Super Falcons lost 0-1 to Cameroon in the 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations WAFCON quarterfinals, which ended their title defense and missed automatic World Cup qualification, subsequently paving way for a playoff with South Africa, which they lost by 2-1. The executive committee of the NFF, headed by Ibrahim Gusau, is under intense pressure to resign following the spate of alleged failures and also following the resignation of more than half of its members. That at least half of NFF executive members are contemplating resignation may not be unconnected with the fear of DSS and NIA probe, fueling fears on the possibility of holding the NFF board election for September 27 in Lafia, Nasarawa State, the insider said. So that's it. Initially, when I saw the story, I was like, what's the connection between security threats and the NFF?
I just took also wrap my head around it. But again, just like you read out, if the DSS also intercepted disturbing communication or disturbing conversations, then of course it behoves on them to investigate and see what exactly is going on. But for me, I don't know. I think the story doesn't add up.
It doesn't
somewhere.
add up, yeah.
There's just something not right about what exactly, was put out here. And, if the DSS was going to look into their accounts or look into their books or look
the EFCC.
So the DSS talking about intercepting communication and all of that.
And
For
the
me, there's just
NIA.
something.
The NIA, and the DSS, they're working together on this
On
matter.
yes, for me, now I really do not even know where, this marriage is coming in. It just doesn't seem there's something, except of course if there are things that we do not know, or there are other means. Yes, but I think of course for me, the NFF, I don't even know what they're still doing there. In a rights scenario, they should have resigned because of the state of the football of the country, and because things also didn't work well with us, for the WAFCON, for a lot of competition in recent times. They should have just, jejely, just left the scene. But again, it is the DSS that knows what they're looking for. And it is, this collaboration between the DSS and the NIA, I think they know what exactly they are looking for. Maybe at the end of the day, when they uncover what exactly they are looking for,
We'll have the clearer picture.
Maybe the picture will be clearer. But as it stands, it just feels like there's something, totally not right here. Adebimpe, you were going to say something?
Yes, you've mentioned it about our teams, both the female and male teams, not qualifying for the World Cup. And of course, when it comes to the matter of intelligence, we lay people,
Exactly.
might not, we won't understand. We can't understand what is really going on. They must have seen some things. Some people must have hinted them on some things. So that's why they're investigating.
Our fingers are crossed.
Very, very crossed. Let's take the next story this morning. This one is also one that is quite worrisome, and it's coming from the NFRU, saying terrorists using dead persons' accounts crowdfunding. And the story says the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit has uncovered an emerging crowdfunding network being exploited to raise and channel funds for terrorist operations. This is as the agency said terrorist financiers were opening bank accounts in women's names, as well as using phone numbers for mobile banking or account alerts that are not registered to the account holder for the true beneficiary. The disclosure are contained in the NFRU's 2025 annual report obtained by the Punch newspaper from a top official. According to the reports, the crowdfunding scheme involves foreign-based facilitators using social media platforms to solicit donations under the guise of humanitarian relief or educational support before moving the funds through multiple layers to terrorist operatives in Nigeria. The NFRU said hundreds of sympathizers were typically encouraged to make relatively small donations ranging from $50 to $500 through PayPal pages or conventional bank accounts, with the amounts deliberately kept low enough to evade automated anti-money laundering alerts. The story continues by saying the funds are subsequently pulled into a master account controlled by a senior member of the group living legally abroad. The NFRU said the funds were then fragmented into dozens of smaller payments and transferred through international monetary transfer operators and remittance applications to a network of money mules in Nigeria. It identified students, small business owners, and relatives among those used as mules, noting that the strategy was designed to avoid reporting thresholds and obscure the origin and destination of the fund. The report described the final stage as the integration of the funds into terrorist operational financing. The unit also identified the use of gender-based proxy accounts as another emerging terrorist financing technique, with terrorists opening bank accounts in women's names while male commanders or logistics managers secretly control them. I'll leave it here. And, you know, at the beginning I said it was worrisome because, again, when things like this happen, the first question to ask is, at least I know that when you need to claim monies from the banks, you should have a bank account. And they go ahead to ask you for your name, your BVN, they cross-check all of these things. So at what point was this compromised? At what point did we start, you know, having people being able to receive foreign monies without due diligence? So it means that, you know, sometimes when you read things like this, you just wish that people kept quiet about this thing. Then it means that the banking system is also compromised.
Some people are not doing their jobs.
So people are not doing what they should be doing. Because I know that for a fact, if I need to get, you know, some monies abroad, you will scrutinize me. You will look into the system and say, Madam, are you sure this is you? And I'm like, go join me.
Take off your makeup.
Exactly. So how did we get to this point where people, dead people, people who do not, you cannot reconcile their, you know, their accounts to, it just doesn't add up. So what's going on? Is it that the banks are not doing what they should be doing? Or is it that people are also not, you are not profiling people like you should profile them? So when the NFRU is coming out to say things like this, I think you don't tell us. Go into the banks. Go into those places where they should actually be the ones doing the jobs and get them to do their jobs. Because if issues like this are coming up and then you're proud enough to put it in your report, then it means that you're also not doing your due diligence. You're not also attacking the sources of where those things are being compromised. If I ordinarily cannot, you know, cannot be questioned, or I am questioned thoroughly, so those that are getting this monies, why are they not going through the same scrutiny?
I mean,
so what are we saying?
You have said it all. Profiling is the problem here. And now I can see the magnitude of the problem of insecurity that we have in the country. If people are getting certain things free.
Exactly.
And we expect that when you go to the banking hall, like you rightly said, that certain questions will be asked before you can have access into a particular account. So these people, are they ghosts? Or how come they are having their way? And of course, they are getting monies to sponsor terrorism in the country. And
then you are even bold enough to say they're using dead people's accounts. So if somebody is dead and then somebody else is coming to use the person's account, do they have the same face?
I just want to ask a question. When were you registering to, you know, to own an account in a bank, there's this thing we call capturing. Is it the dead person? Is it the dead person's face they put there? I don't know.
Shouldn't it even be the dead person's face that is still on the account if the account hasn't been closed? So if an account has been inoperable for some time, shouldn't you also start asking questions? Why is this account dormant? Why is this account not being used? And I know that sometimes when you open an account and then your account, it is the same bank people that will be calling you and be asking you, why are you not using this account? Do you want to close this account? So why is NFRU now coming to say they are using dead people's accounts? How?
Yeah, because the banking system itself is also reading with a lot of corruption.
Do the needful. Do what you should do. If there are banks that you also notice are also doing this thing, sanction them. I mean, you are the ones that have the powers. Then you are telling us Nigerians that terrorists are doing this. What should we do?
I mean, but I can remember those days that we used to walk into the banking halls, and then you see some people that will just come straight. They'll just take them inside. They'll just take them inside and attend to them.
So we...
And they put all protocol aside.
Yeah, they should just do the needful and stop belaboring Nigerians with issues like this, because there's really nothing we can do. The more you tell us, the more aggravated we are that you're not doing what you should be doing. Adebimpe, let's take your story.
Sanwo-Olu urges academy fellows to focus on public impact. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has urged participants in the Lateef Jakonde Leadership Academy to measure leadership by the practical solutions it delivers to society as the 2025-2026 cohort prepares to complete the fellowship. Sanwo-Olu gave the charge during the cohort's final mentorship session at Lagos House Marina, where he engaged the fellows on the realities of public leadership, decision-making, and service. The session was designed to give the young leaders direct access to the governor's experience in government and an opportunity to discuss the challenges of translating leadership ideals into public policy and tangible outcomes. Sanwo-Olu urged the fellows to embrace continuous learning and remain patient with the leadership process, stressing that leadership should ultimately be judged by its ability to produce solutions and create measurable impact. Yes, that's about it. The Lateef Jakonde Academy is established in honor of the late former governor, the Lagos State's first civilian governor. The Lateef Jakonde Leadership Academy is designed to groom young people with the potential to influence Nigeria's future by combining practical experience, mentorship, and exposure to real-world governance and challenges. This is self-explanatory.
Absolutely. At least if for nothing, I like the rigorous mentorship and rigorous
leadership
system that the fellows of the academy they go through. And I also like the fact that, the governor is also leading by example, also, imbibing into these young persons what is also learned on the job and how they also can position themselves for leadership positions. I just do hope that, these fellows will continue to also blaze the trail and, again, take what they've learned, to their peers, especially for those who've not been opportune to attend the academy and who also will be leaders in their own spheres at one point in time. Because, the number is too minute to make that huge change that we're waiting for, that we're hoping for. But we hope that, part of what the young people will understand is the fact that these things are not just for yourselves. Don't keep them. When you leave the academy, when you meet with your peers, also, let them know what you've gone through and also share these things. We just must continue to pass on the baton and not just leave it to a select few. And I think this is the best way to also, just urge young people to just tackle issues headlong, be solution providers, and not just take in, things, but be also ready to, teach others so that we can continue to have this knowledge, multiply.
And aside from providing solutions to some of the problems that are plaguing the country, I would have liked a situation whereby we have had institutions like this before now, so that some of those leaders that we have today, if they had gone through such institutions like this, maybe they would have been better, and of course, do something to impact the society the more. And I would liken what is happening at this academy to what transpired yesterday. Okay, I'll leave everybody to take the hashtag before I now connect this particular institution with what happened yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, we must, there's never a better time to start something than now. Yes, maybe again, part of what, the Lagos State government thought of was the fact that we lost it somewhere. Can we start to right the wrongs? And so if this academy is, nurtured and carried to way beyond now, leaders we're raising today will probably not make the mistakes of the leaders from yesterday. But going into today's hashtag, of course, the ongoing NBA conference, before yesterday's clash, a lot of lawyers had also complained before yesterday's clash, asking why the NBA invited VDM you know,
Hey.
to the conference. Yes, and a lot of people said, listen, he's an influencer. There are a lot of things that, you know, you could learn from him. But again, you know, it was further aggravated yesterday during the panel session where one is a vice presidential candidate anyway, one is a presidential candidate, Omoyele Sowore, and Rotimi Chibuike-Amechi clashed over you know, different reasons, of course, issues ranging from fuel subsidy removal, governance records, past political office performances, and a whole lot of things. And I think one of the things Rotimi Amechi said at that conference that probably, you know, irked Sowore was the fact that Amechi said him and Atiku Abubakar are the most detribalized Nigerians. And I'm like, how? Which yardstick did you use to bring that to the table?
Because he's Rotimi Amechi.
In name.
So how many Rotimis or Sojis did we have in his cabinet when he was governor? Or when he was minister?
He's Rotimi Amechi.
So you were going to liken that to...
So maybe they will need to ascend some kind of institutions or come to Lagos for reorientation, so that when they go for such public engagement,
they will
know what to say and what not to say.
Emotional intelligence is not a small thing, and I think everybody keeps missing it. It's not about age now. It's just about reading the room and knowing the right things to say. I understand the fact that it's campaign era, but you must also ensure that you do not say things that will put you on the wrong footing. And, you know, he also, I think there's one thing he also said. He said, I'm the only politician on this panel who has successfully tackled insecurity. When? How? When?
When was he appointed the Minister of Defense?
Maybe security guards at home. They were able to. they were able to.
and trust Sowore not allow things to slide. And you know, sometimes yes, although sometimes he also misses the point. But he's someone who also sometimes has some merits when he speaks. He also lacks cohesion sometimes, but again, sometimes he also just likes to put these men in their places. I think all of these men must also focus on solutions to Nigeria's myriads of challenges and not just continue to tackle irresponsibly. Because I've also realized that because they also want to tackle irresponsibly, they mistalk or they they just miss the point where ordinarily what you should be saying is selling yourselves to Nigerians and talking about the things that you would do differently, and part of what they intend to do differently is returning subsidy. So
I can't believe grown-up men, some people that some younger ones call daddy, my father, will be uttering such insane statements.
We just need to
As for Sowore, he was invited there.
Yes.
They knew what they were doing because they know that anytime there is a Sowore in a place,
there will be controversy.
There will be drama.
It
will sell. So they knew what they were doing.
It's a good marketing strategy.
Wasn't it the same Sowore that went to sit down at the governor's seat when they were having this marathon
event?
It was the same Sowore.
Yes, it was.
They knew what they were doing.
It was.
That was right.
It's not as if we are campaigning for any political party on this platform.
We're just being...
When you look at the quality of opposition that we have, rather, Abimbola, I can as well say that come 2027, it will not be smooth sail.
Even the oppositions, they know.
Yeah. And I think that's why they also do not even want to come as one.
As one,
yes. The kind of engagement that they are having, it is not intense, it is not intellectually powered.
They don't want the APC to steal
and sometimes
their ideas.
I ask myself, what are they bringing to the table that is new?
Yeah, they want to get into power before unveiling.
It's Rotimi Amechi, detribalized. Oh my God.
Anyways, you can go onto the X platform this morning to take a further read on why Omoyele Sowore and Rotimi Amechi are trending on the X platform. We'll take a quick break. We'll return. We did tell you at the beginning of this program that today is a public holiday. What is today intended to celebrate, of course, is the birth of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. How can we liken maybe his lifestyle to maybe what our politicians are also doing today? And I'm waiting to ask our guest, if the Prophet were still to be alive today, what would he do differently? I really don't know. There's sometimes that you just want to Just think about perhaps if Prophet Muhammad or if Jesus Christ were still here with us today, how will they help us tackle our politicians? What will they tell them that will change the situation? That conversation is after the short break.